The surface of the Earth is the shore of an ocean, not an ocean of water, but of space. We have waded out into it, perhaps ankle deep, and the water looks inviting. Almost everything we know still lies behind us, on the sand. So before we set out, a question worth sitting with. How big is that ocean? Try to picture its far edge. Whatever you are imagining right now, hold on to it. By the end, it will be far too small. 46 years ago, Carl Sagan opened a book and a television series with a single sentence. The cosmos is all that is, or ever was, or ever will be. Almost everything that follows here is a footnote to that one idea. We are young. Our species has existed for a few 100,000 years and has been building things for a few thousand. On the time scale of the universe, we arrived a moment ago, and we are still blinking in the light. The first problem is measurement. Kilometers are useless out here, the way a millimeter is useless for measuring a continent. So we measure in light. 1 light year is the distance light travels in a year, about 9.5 trillion kilometers. And light is the fastest thing there is. It crosses from the Earth to the Moon in a little over a second. It takes 4 years and 3 months to reach us from the nearest star beyond our own sun. Start close to home. 1 ordinary star, 8 planets, a scattering of moons, and a great deal of rock and ice. Sunlight takes 8 minutes to reach your face, and more than 5 hours to reach the orbit of Neptune. That star is nothing special. It is middle-aged, middle-sized, and yellow-white, and it is one of a few 100 billion in our galaxy alone. Most of the others are smaller, dimmer, and will last far longer than ours. Our galaxy is a spiral about 100,000 light years across, turning slowly with the sun a long way out from the center. 1 full orbit takes roughly 230 million years. Last time we were in this spot, dinosaurs were new. And the galaxy is not the ocean either. It's one island in it. Point a good telescope at an empty patch of sky and hold it there, and the darkness fills with galaxies. Hundreds of billions of them, each with its own hundreds of billions of stars. Pull back further, and the galaxies themselves form patterns. Groups, clusters, long glowing filaments, and between them enormous voids of very nearly nothing. At the largest scale we can see, the universe looks like foam, or a web. So, here is your address. A rocky planet, orbiting an ordinary star in the suburbs of one spiral galaxy, in one small group of galaxies, on a single strand of the cosmic web. It would be easy to hear all that as a demotion. 4 centuries of astronomy, steadily moving us further from the center of things. But there is another way to hear it, and I think it is the truer one. Hold that thought. Because we are not only small in space, we are also late in time. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old, and that number is impossible to feel. So let us shrink it down to something a person can hold. Sagan's device was to compress the entire history of the universe into a single year, the Big Bang at midnight on the 1st of January. This moment now, at midnight on the 31st of December. On that scale, a single day is nearly 40 million years. The first stars ignite in January. Our own galaxy takes shape by March. And then, for months, nothing that concerns us happens at all. The universe is busy making stars and making them explode over and over again. The sun and the earth do not form until early September, and life appears almost immediately afterwards, within weeks. That is a genuinely surprising result, and one that nobody has fully explained. Then life stays small for a very long time. For the whole of autumn, the earth belongs to single cells. Complex animals do not arrive until the middle of December. Plants move on to dry land a few days after that. The dinosaurs appear on Christmas Eve and are gone by the 30th of December, ended in an afternoon by a rock from space. Everything you think of as prehistoric is squeezed into that final week. Human beings appeared in the last hour of the last day of that year, late in the evening of the 31st of December. somewhere around 10:30 at night. And all of recorded history, every empire, every book, every war, every single person whose name you know fits into the final 11 seconds before midnight. On that calendar, 1 second is about 440 years. That is not a humbling footnote. It is the whole situation. We are a very new arrival in a very old place, and we have been paying real attention for only the last fraction of a second of it. Now, here is the part that turns it around. Go back to the beginning, and the universe made only the lightest elements. Hydrogen, helium, a trace of lithium. Nothing there you could build a world out of, and nothing you could build a person out of. Everything else was manufactured inside stars. Carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, iron, fused in stellar cores under crushing pressure over millions of years, and then thrown back out into space when those stars died. Which means the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, and the oxygen you just breathed in were all made inside stars that exploded before the sun existed. You are not watching the universe from outside it. You are made of the thing you are looking at. That is what Sagan meant when he said, "We are made of star stuff," and it leads somewhere genuinely remarkable. Through us, he said, the cosmos has found a way to know itself. And here is what should be the strangest fact of all, though somehow it never is. The universe turns out to be comprehensible. A small, recently arrived animal on a wet rock can work out how the stars burn. The clearest example I know is over 2,000 years old. A man named Eratosthenes, working in Egypt, read a note in a library that everybody else had found unremarkable and took it seriously. At noon on Midsummer's Day, in a town to the south, a vertical stick cast no shadow at all. The sun stood directly overhead. But on that same day, at that same hour, in Alexandria, a vertical stick did cast a shadow. On a flat earth, both sticks cast the same shadow, or neither does. That they differed meant the ground between them curved. And from the angle of one shadow and the distance between two towns, he calculated the size of the entire planet. He got it very nearly right. Within a few percent, around 240 years before Christ, with no spacecraft, no telescope, and almost no instruments. Just a stick, a measured distance, and the willingness to take an odd observation seriously. He was working at the Library of Alexandria, the closest thing the ancient world had to a research institution. Hundreds of thousands of scrolls. Astronomers, geographers, physicians, and engineers all gathered in one place. It did not burn down in a single dramatic night. That is a story we tell because it is simpler. It declined over centuries, through war, neglect, lost funding, and the slow collective decision that the questions being asked there did not really matter. And we know some of what was lost only from the titles. Books on the stars, on the human body, and on the idea that the Earth moves around the sun, written more than 18 centuries before Copernicus. Gone. One. So knowledge is not cumulative by default. It can be put down and lost. It has happened before, and it took a very long time to pick back up. Which is why the important thing science hands us is not a pile of facts. It is a way of thinking, a set of habits for telling the difference between what is true and what we would very much prefer to be true. And that takes two attitudes that do not sit comfortably together. Real openness to new ideas, or nothing new ever gets in. And ruthless skepticism towards all of them, or you cannot tell sense from nonsense. It also takes something genuinely difficult. The willingness to be wrong in public and to change your mind when the evidence says you should. That is the whole engine. Everything else is bookkeeping. Which brings us to the question sitting underneath all the others. In an ocean this size, with this many worlds in it, are we the only shore with anybody standing on it? We do not know. We have only been listening for about 70 years. We have started sending things out too. Voyager 1 left in 1977, passed the planets, and crossed into interstellar space in 2012 docked. It is still traveling outward, and for now, still faintly in touch. And in 1990, at Sagan's request, it turned its camera back around and photographed the Earth from 6 billion kilometers away. In that picture, our entire world is less than a single pixel, a pale blue dot hanging in a beam of scattered sunlight. Everyone you love, everyone you have ever heard of, and every human being who has ever lived out their life on that dot. Every war, every empire, every act of kindness, all of it on a mote of dust in a very large ocean. So we end back at the shore, small, late, made of exploded stars, standing on a pale blue dot we did not choose, and somehow able to work out where we are. That last part is the astonishing one. The ocean is open. We have barely got our feet wet,